Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB. You're very welcome, and welcome back to Duvo, the provisional title for our second ever map build. Right, okay, well, it's part 36, which means we're about 18 hours into the map build, given that everything is double speed, and most of the episodes are about 15 minutes long. Now, somebody did query about this this link road here, and what I'm thinking about doing now is, rather than having the two lanes, because the more I think about it, there isn't a huge build area coming off this way, so a single lane highway ramp, I'm just making sure the glitching doesn't clip in there. We'll obviously be testing the map as well at some point to make sure there is no glitching and everything is fine. It's going to be a little bit of a while before we can even get to the testing process, of course. But yes, it was two lanes merging into two lanes from this highway, and it was mentioned in the comments. Was that what I intended? And it was at the time, but now I think about it, the amount of traffic flow from the harbour up to this area will be relatively light. I mean, there will be traffic, clearly, but it won't be that heavy. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the commenters. Sorry that I haven't got your name written down. I am narrating this at silly o'clock in the morning, and while I do have your name written down somewhere, it's not in front of me as I narrate this, so I do apologise for that. Now, there was somebody who commented, and that was about having a roundabout. The highways ending in a roundabout. Now, I do remember this person's name, but they get too many comments already, so I won't be mentioning your name, Hendrik. Oh damn it. Now, he suggested roundabout. Now, when you're building a roundabout, a little tip here, which has been actually passed to me from one of you guys already as well. If you want the perfect roundabout, it's very difficult to do with highways, because you don't get the guidelines, and no matter how much you tweak, it just, unless you get lucky or you've got a really keen eye, it doesn't work, does it? One thing I found also there was I had a slight terrain problem, so we're going to level out the terrain to make sure we've got perfectly flat land for our roundabouts to go onto. Now, what we're going to do is, rather than do highways, is we're going to search out a road that has two lanes and zoning. So I'm scanning through. Right, we will just search road. Not sure if that one does. I think it does, but we'll just be sure. We'll find one that I know is two lanes and has zoning. That definitely does. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the curve tool and use the guidelines to put in the exact curves that we are looking for. That's much better, isn't it? Look at that. I know there's precision engineering. Yes. Anyway, once you've done that, you can then just simply upgrade the highways to the shape that you want. But then, of course, as soon as you link them in, am I missing something here, guys? When you connect a road to a bent road like that, like a roundabout, it misshapes it. Am I missing something? Please educate me, and I will share that into a tutorial at some point. And I am working on 3 tutorials at the moment, so we'll get those made at some point. Anyway, now the misshapen roundabouts, I'm going to spend the next few minutes tweaking, trying to get it to a pleasing shape. It won't be a roundabout at the end, it'll be a bulbous about. That's right, we all like a bulbous end, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we do. So I'm going to spend some time tweaking this. While I do this, I'll let you know what's coming up in the show. We will be doing a lot of moss and weed work with the wetlands in a moment, so be prepared to look forward to that. And I'm also going to tell you about an old video of mine that I think, if you're watching this series, if you've not seen the video already, I think you will actually like it. I think you'll be absorbed into it as well. The lot on that was we pull back and it sort of like got like a pentagon or something, didn't it? Did you see that? Right, hang on, we'll just get that lined up nicely like that. Very cool. Okay, so anyway, yes, so we'll be talking about, as soon as we get across to the wetlands, we'll start talking about it. So yes, the wetlands, we're going to nip over to the tree pallets that I've got over here. All the trees that I've used so far live over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick that patch of weeds up. We're going to basically paint the edges of all of these new lakes. Yes, we will be coming back, and we will be using river reeds and various other wetland type plants as well. Not going to be using any mangrove trees. I don't see the mangrove trees fit my vision for this. They're lovely trees and they are water based, but I'm not entirely sold on them for this particular map build, this part of the world that I have in my head, which is like Northern Europe, because hey, that's where I live. not necessarily the United Kingdom, but certainly a Northern Europe kind of vibe to it. Maybe Northern France, maybe Benelux, possibly Norway stroke Sweden, somewhere in that, maybe Latvia, I don't know, somewhere. But it's in this area, although the name will be anglicised, so it's probably England after all that. Anyways, where were we? Yes, map builds. Now, if you're watching this, then you obviously have an interest in watching somebody put together a map build, and you probably don't completely dislike my voice either, which is a bit of a bonus, I guess. Although some of you may have me on mute, and I don't blame you at all. So yes, if you're into map building or watching somebody else doing a map build, then I have just the show for you. As you'll know, this is my second map build, my first one being Merrickstowe about a year ago, and I did actually record the map building process for Merrickstowe, but instead of doing it as a daily show, condensed 15 minutes here and there at double speed, I'm just going to change the water level here. Just you see, there's not quite enough water at the end of this little run here, so it's going to let that connect in, and we can bring the water levels up. Come on, let me, come on. That's better. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted. We'll just drop the water levels down to about there. Smashing. Right, so Merrickstowe's, the making of Merrickstowe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link in the video at the end of today's show for those of you that haven't seen it and would like to watch it. And of course, I appreciate you may not have time to watch it today, so what I will do is I will include it on a couple of other shows throughout the series. If you just watch the end credits, at some point you'll see the making of Merrickstowe will pop up at some point. There is a second, a behind-the-scenes Merrickstowe video as well, which I will maybe pop in at some point. And I think it's about an hour long of me talking to Mike. Hello, Mike. How you doing? Now, talking into the microphone about why Merrickstowe is how Merrickstowe is. What was the driving factors of what brought me to put it together, the ideas behind it, and so forth. So that's a little something extra. Like I say, it's about an hour long from memory. I've not checked. It's just one of those things I've suddenly remembered I did. And I think, as I say, if you've not watched it and you like that kind of thing, you like to know what's going on and the reasons behind a map build, that's going to be probably a good show for you to watch if you've not seen it. It was about a year ago, so if you're new to the channel within the last year, you may be blissfully unaware of that one. So I'll include that at the end. What not the talk through one? No. Just the making of, and then I'll include the talk through one at some other point, so you can link to that. It'd be nice and cozy, just you and me for an hour talking about Merrickstowe. Right, so anyway, this map's coming along. You can see it's starting to feel a lot more homely. You can probably start imagining where you might be putting down your city centre or your town centre, because it's not really a city build map, is it? It's got all these wetlands that you can build around, because there are obviously dry points around the wetlands. So I think a few of you probably are sort of like getting excited about getting your teeth into this one. I might even fancy a bit of a let's play on this one as well. Wonder if I can use the move it export function to move asset weld across to here. I don't think it would really work, would it? No, I don't think asset weld. I don't know. I might just do it. and just see what happens. Possibly, we're still a long way away though. We've got a lot of work on the mainland to do. Got the river detailing to do, the seabed detailing to do, because there's a lot of work under the water to do as well. Oh crikey! What else needs doing? Got some feature areas as well. I think though the bulk part now, in terms of the actual work, is with getting the forestry areas and the foliage just looking right. That's going to be the thing now. Spending lots of time getting that looking right, bringing in a few custom trees, because at the moment we're working with just the same generic low tree set from Pidelmo, and it's a very nice set, but it is very samey, and I want to sort of like mix things up a little bit, and so we'll be bringing in some wetland plants as well, like river reeds and so forth. So what about the supplementary shows on the channel, the ones that aren't City Skylines, but a few of you were watching anyway? Well, first of all, let's start with Euro Truck Simulator. Now, Euro Truck Simulator I was enjoying, but it was only ever meant to be like a side track for me. I know a few of you are a bit frustrated that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Well, that's because I picked up the game, started playing it, started recording, and had no idea. It was only for some fun for me, to distract me from the day-to-day routines, and constantly doing what's map. It was just nice to actually have a break. No experts, never intended to become an expert, and just something different, a little something different. Time-wise, obviously, it's much better for me to do a couple of hours of map building than it is for me to do a couple of hours of driving a truck. Something creative, something constructive, something that you'll have to play with yourself, a map yourself at the end of this, because obviously you'll be able to download this off the workshop. So in terms of Euro Truck, I will be going, I have every intention of going back to it at some point in the future, possibly weekends, and just something, but I am a long way off being able to go back to it. The priority is this, and then the new City Skylines show, which I can't start on until I've got this pretty much done, to free up some time. So that's Euro Truck. XCOM, yes, XCOM will continue, but there's no real pattern to when XCOM will continue. I am invested into it. There are a few of you that are invested into it. Not too many of you. It's mostly people who have had characters named after them and want to see if they can survive another show. And in the case of Zach, whether he can actually hit a barn door from 2 feet. Hasn't happened yet, but it might just happen one day. So yes, that will continue. It might just continue as live plays when time happens to fall on my side, and so there might not be any advance warning of an XCOM Let's Play, but I intend at some point of doing one. At the very least, I might squeeze in a half-hour episode here and there. But once again, priority is the map making, and so if I'm sat with the motivation, I will do a map making ahead of doing an XCOM, of course. I do have other games as well that I wanted to try and start doing this year, but priorities, just priorities. I really want to crack on and launch the new Skyline show, and I'm pretty sure once it's launched, I think you'll all agree that it would have been, well, it's long overdue. It is long overdue. Really want to get on with that. So anyway, that's about it. We are nearing the end of today's show in terms of getting these moss weeds down, making these wetlands look alive and lush, and the water shining through these. It's beautiful. I love the way these work like this. Still not quite finished, but pretty close. I like it a lot. So yes, The next episodes, don't expect it to be spellbinding. It'll be as exciting as today's with the moss placing. We'll be placing a load of trees, and we'll be... hang on, we're doing some tweaking here. See these doors on the outside of these towers on the outside of the castle? They would be on the inside of the castle. So what we're going to do is do a spin on that. This is the most exciting thing you'll see today. This is spinning the castle walls around like that, as they did in olden days. You know, the whole turret would be on a gear system. And here I want to see the door on the inside, or not see the door at all, depending. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. This one is on the outside. Let's move that so that it's either on the inside or inside a wall. That's fine. And then we're back to where we started. Good. So the doors are now... I'm happy with the doors. It's all good. Yes, we've got the electricity and whatever problems there. I am going to fix that at some point once we get to the fine detailing and finding the actual correct assets and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for What's Map, and later on this week for more map making. Hey, it might even be tomorrow night if you're very, very good. So don't forget to say your prayers. Otherwise it won't happen. Have a great day, and you've been very, very welcome.